Welcome to Kermode Uncut, where we have the final instalment in my roundup of the best and worst films released in UK cinemas in 2017. We've already done number 10 to number 1 of my favourite films, and number 10 to number 6 of my least favourite. Well, here's 5 to 1 of the worst. So at number 5, The Mummy. Now, The Mummy was a stinker. Of the people who went to see it, and there weren't that many, most of them thought it was a bit rubbish. And afterwards, there was a lot of fallout about whose fault it was. Most people ended up blaming Tom Cruise. And it is true that Tom Cruise apparently had pretty much total control over the project. Tom Cruise was holding the reins, Tom Cruise was in charge, and the final film just looks like a generic Tom Cruise film. However, I'd like to shift the blame very slightly and say, yes, Tom Cruise is pretty bad in The Mummy, which is a film which doesn't hold any great promise for the forthcoming Dark Universe. However, can we please have special mention in the It's a Really Bad Film stakes for Russell Crowe and his ongoing experiments with an English accent. Gore blimey, Russell, I love seeing you in films which you play British. It's always convincing.
For chaos and the suffering of others.
On to number 4, and again, it gives me no pleasure to say this, that my 4th least favourite film of the year is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Now, this is a real problem because I like the original Kingsman. I thought it did an interesting thing with the hoodie Bond idea and the My Fair Lady idea. In the sequel, Matthew Vaughn has decided to take all the elements that I really liked about the first film and trash them, and take the element that I really didn't like about the first film and basically use that to play with over and over again. The biggest problem, however, is this. It's just naff. How naff is it? Well, Elton John turns up in what looks like a cameo, and then it turns out to be a repeated cameo, and then you realise that it's a full-blown role, that Elton John is actually a major player in Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Also, Julianne Moore is rubbish, and that never happens.
Wait, I'm going to show you. Say goodbye to the Kingsman.
Which brings me to number 3. Hey, Song to Song by Terrence Malick. You remember Terrence Malick's previous film? It was like Infinity by Calvin Klein. Well, Song to Song is like Interminable by Terrence Malick.
We thought we could just roll and tumble, live from song to song, kiss to kiss.
At number 2, The Emoji Movie. Patrick Stewart is a talking poo. I really can't add to that.
Son, what do we do after we go potty?
Should we wash our hands?
We're number 2.
Which brings me to the number 1 spot. Now, if you're a regular here at Kermode Uncut, you know that halfway through the year I do a mid-term report, best and worst films of the year so far. And back then I said I'd be really surprised if I saw a worse film this year than Wolves at the Door, which is a nasty, duplicitous, morally bankrupt and dramatically inept addition to the already pretty decrepit Manson movies canon. So I'm pleased to be able to finish by saying that my very least favourite film of 2017, in fact, one of the worst films I can remember seeing for many a year, is Wolves at the Door, and I hope to never have to mention or think about it ever again.
Hello?
So let's recap my least favourite films released in UK cinemas in 2017. At number 10, Alien Covenant. Enough already, Ridley. At number 9, Rough Night. Yes, that's putting it kindly. At number 8, Justice League. Look out for Henry's moustache. At number 7, Geostorm. Stupid even by Gerard Butler's standards. At number 6, Flatliners. After this, you'll think you're dead. At number 5, The Mummy. Tom Cruise, yes, but Russell Crowe, it's your fault. Number 4, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. We'd had enough the first time. Number 3, Song to Song. Terrence, make fewer films. Number 2, The Emoji Movie. And number 1, Wolves at the Door, a film upon which we will happily close the door. So there we are, my best and worst films released in UK cinemas in 2017. As I said, I think it's been a really great year. I mean, there are so many good movies that didn't manage to make it into my top 10. What are the ones that you think I've left out? What are your favourite films and least favourite films of the year? Let me know.